I would like for anyone out there that really wants to make a change or has a skill set that they would want to put to use to not be scared and to take that leap of faith. Anyone that may want to, be in business for themselves, anyone that just would want to do more, help out more or get more out of life, I would say just go for it.
Hey, everybody, welcome to my show. My name is Tiffany Alexander, and this is Unveiling Journeys. Oh my goodness, let me just tell you a smidge about me. I I love people. I love getting to know people. I love reaching out and getting to know people. But then whenever I get a chance to meet with them, I'm usually asking them, wow, this is so fun that what you've done, what you've invented, where you work, what you're pressing forward to do and accomplish. And most of the time it's B2B, or sometimes B2C, where they're just they're doing revolutionary things and they're paving the way and they're showing up as business owners to make small business, medium business run America. And then by the end of the conversation, I'm thinking, this is so fun. How do I get to know more people just like you? By the way, I know a few people you need to know. And then everything just keeps kind of snowballing into this avalanche of these insane people that I love getting to know. And that's why the podcast was born, because I want to promote them. I want to tell the world about them. And then I have this ability to do a give back when I have so many other things that we should work on too. But in the meantime, I have another amazing guest for you today. And we met on LinkedIn because I was like, hey, LinkedIn keeps pushing our pages together, we should meet, right? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. So you just never know how it is I'm going to be introduced to someone, or I'm just going to follow a prompting from some random website to say, like, you should know so and so. Anyway, here we are. And I'm so grateful that we got to spend a couple of meetings together already for me to get to know her better. And I want you to get to know her. So with that, Peg, welcome to the show. I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming today. Do me a favor, tell everybody a little bit about who you are, what you're doing. What are you up to right now?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, thank you, Tiffany, for sharing your platform with me. It means a lot. Who am I? I originally born and raised in West Africa, Burkina Faso. It's a small, tiny, landlocked country. Came to the US when I was about 17, 18 years old. And, went to school, have my bachelor's in marketing and finance, got my MBA in management as well. And about 7 years ago, I took a leap of faith and opened up a medical billing business. It's called Reliable Billing. We offer full scope medical billing packages along with contracting and credentialing. We do some licensing, some consulting, as well as just offer training as well and editing for anyone in the medical field. Um, what am I up to these days is mostly that, just running my medical billing company. I do also have a staffing agency. I opened up a clinic a few months ago, and yeah, so that's what I'm up to these days.
Oh my goodness, so
Yeah.
much. I love just how you're so driven. You keep showing up and keep inventing things. Because if we don't like invent all these things up ourselves, the big guys are going to take over and like ruin it. They're going to ruin it. So like you being able to come in and show and do this for your already amazing clients, then you're like doing the real work of the Lord, right? Let's do this though. I know you like breeze through your whole story. I want the long version of it. Like, let's start over. You're from a small, tiny town in Africa,
Yeah,
and
I am.
what did you want to be when you grew up? And then, like, what was that like for the decision whenever you relocated here?
Okay, so I tell you, I knew nothing about medical billing. I stumbled upon it after college looking for a job. They hired me at a treatment center. Decided that with my background and what I went to school for, I may be a good candidate for medical billing. But I knew nothing about it. It's nothing I ever had aspirations for. And I don't know that in college I would have picked it as a career path necessarily. But as fate would have it, it's the world I was meant to be in. Stumbled upon it, I fell in love with it, and I never looked back. But yes, so growing up, gosh, I was always a really good student. So fun fact, I started school 2 years ahead of my class. So I was the youngest by 2 years. And they put me in school so early because I guess at home I just would not stop talking. and they figured she talks quite a bit. Let's, get her something to do with her time. And my mom used to be a teacher too. So she used to teach, elementary school. So she would take me to school with her, and they figured, well, let's have a try. And if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, we'll bring her back next year or 2 years after. And somehow I was able to keep up. So
Wow.
always a good student. I always loved reading. I don't know if I had something in mind necessarily growing up as far as a career path goes. I would say in high school, I started thinking heavily about marketing. So I always felt as though, marketing is something that I think in retrospect, I think it just sounded cool at the time. It was such a new concept whenever I started. That was, I don't even know how many years ago. But when I was about to start college, marketing was still new and it just sounded so cool to me that I figured that is the one thing I think I would want to do. So I did go to school for that, so bachelor's marketing. Then I figured if you're gonna be in marketing or in any field you are in, it would be even in life in general, right? With your finances, you always need to make sure you know what is happening. You have to be able to read and understand numbers, know where they come from, and where they end up. And so I figured, getting a degree in finance as well could end up being useful. And then, of course, when I went for my MBA, the school I went to at the time only had three different options. It was either marketing, finance, or education. I did not want to teach at all. And so that was not going to be it for me. I actually was going to go straight from having my bachelor's to starting a PhD program. But I remember my advisor at the time told me, well, if you do go for a PhD, you will end up teaching. And I did not, just wasn't in the cards for me. And so I ended up just going for my MBA. And of the three options, I already had marketing. So I figured I would just go for an MBA in management. But yeah, so I would say growing up, I always saw myself being in marketing. I will say, however, now in running my business, I do use it all, right? I have to market because you have to put yourself out there and let
What?
others know about your services, what you offer. So you have to have some marketing skills. You also need to be really good with numbers with what I do. You have to understand the numbers, even for payroll purposes, but even in billing in general, a lot of my time is spent just looking at data, looking at spreadsheets, just crunching numbers, seeing what makes sense. And that's the questions I get all day from my providers as well is what is happening with my numbers? What does this mean? What did I bring in? And so in retrospect, I'm also using my finance skills. And then, of course, management, because now I have staff members working under me and
Yeah.
I do have to lead my team. So I do also utilize my management skills. But yeah, very small town, had a great upbringing. At 16, I left. I went to school in Dakar, Senegal for about 1 year. Um, to Suffolk University. They had a branch out of Dakar, Senegal, which is also in West Africa. So I spent 1 year there studying, and then I moved to the US shortly thereafter. I remember being so excited to leave and to just be in a new area, discover a new world. So, but yeah, that's how I ended up here.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's so many little pieces in that. Like, what were some of the thoughts and ideas whenever you accomplish your degree? What was that first job look like? Did you have a foot in the door already?
No, so I went to school out in Southwest Minnesota. It's about 3 hours away from the Twin Cities. So when I finished school, I knew I wanted to move to the bigger city, to the Twin Cities, and it was just a matter of finding a job. And so I remember having to make that 6 hour drive, so 3 hours to the cities, 3 hours back, just in interviews. Meetings, just applying to just different positions. And it just so happened that the treatment center was looking, actually, they hired me first as a client accounts coordinator. So my role was really to figure out how to break down what clients would owe for services. And so I did that for a few months before they pulled me into the billing department. But yeah, so at that point, any job I would have gotten, I likely would have taken just to begin with. And the goal was to just start somewhere and work my way up. It just so happened that the first job I got opened up so many doors for me. In billing there, I had so many of the other staff members from the clinic would come to me and ask me questions about, what the patients may have to pay for services, if I could help them break it down for their patients, what the different amounts per the benefit details meant, or even some within the clinic as well that were, opening up other clinics for themselves or were working elsewhere would come to me and ask me questions about the contracting process. How do you obtain a contract with different insurances to be able to bill them? And so organically, I just started getting more and more questions, and then it turned into a bigger consulting role that I was just doing on my own, and it just makes sense about 7 years ago to officially open up as a business.
Were there influential people that helped you come to these decisions?
Well, I would say, so I started consulting and I got a big consulting gig in the Twin Cities for a third party. They also were a third party billing company. So when I started there, I quickly realized one, how big the market was, but also I realized that I really fully understood all aspects of not just the billing, but even consulting as well. And so I found myself meeting with clients, closing deals, doing all the work, and all that for the company. When I figured, well, I could literally just cut the middleman and go directly, or like go out and find my own providers and do the same thing I'm doing. The only difference would be I'm getting 100% of the profit now. And but yeah, that is
This
that is one
is
it clicked.
you're like really, really the original visionary of making this happen versus someone saying, spread your wings, pig. You got this. You should cut us out. You're like, wait a minute. I'm doing all
Yeah.
the work
No,
here.
I
And I,
I saw it. I saw it early on. I realized that there definitely was a need out there. So many providers to date, there's still such a big need for the services I offer for any medical billing, really. And so yeah, I saw it early on, and it is something I definitely made it a mission of mine to capitalize on, maximize, but I also knew I had the skills, and really was a no-brainer.
what was that like whenever you decided to take the leap of faith? Did you like transition slowly or just jump all in?
I transitioned slowly, so I did love juggling at the beginning, but then I think quickly, within the first few months, I had to hire my first staff member. That is how busy I got, and so quickly. Though I was still juggling, I literally had someone working for me. When I got to having five staff members, it just made sense to fully be in, and because I was still consulting on the side, but it just made sense to just fully bring everything in house under just a reliable billing umbrella, and anyone that wanted consulting would come in under reliable billing.
Oh man, that's fun. And
Yeah.
like the growing pains of that of your baby now, your whole thing, your company, what does that continue to look like for you? And you said you added on some more services?
I did. I did. I started with just billing. I was only offering billing. And then I would get phone calls from providers or potential clients asking me, or telling me they would want to bill eventually, but they had no contracts. So they couldn't bill if they wanted to. So we had to start there. And so organically, I added contracting and credentialing to the list of services I offered. Credentialing also came organically because providers that would come to me and already had existing contracts in wanting to grow, if they were to hire new staff members, they needed to have those staff members added onto those contracts under credentialing. And so that also came off of a need from my providers. And then licensing, I would have providers come to me wanting to be in the medical field or wanting to bill for services, but needed a facility license to be able to offer those services. And so I ended up adding that. And then consulting came along. Although I've been doing it in the past, I wasn't doing it as much under the reliable billing umbrella. But I would still get those phone calls, and it only made sense to make it official and add it as an actual service. And then phone calls about, well, can you train? I may want to keep my in-house billing team, but could you come in and help just train? And so started offering that, and then editing, because I would also get those phone calls about I don't understand what's happening in my books. I'm looking at them, looking at the data, and I'm not able to make sense of it. Can you come and help me add it and let me know what's happening? And so everything I added organically. And there's one more line of service that I've just recently been asked about, which is actual CPA/accounting services. And so that is something that I'm thinking about, but it has to be right. I need the right team. I'm not a CPA by trade, not an accountant either. So I do need to have solid individuals in place that will be able to fill those shoes before I add it to my list of services. But everything came organically. It's just, whatever phone calls I would get and whatever need was from providers or potential clients out there, I would take that on and just add officially as a service.
Man, that sounds so neat. Can I ask you, um, like you're crushing it, right? Like you're doing so well. Why do you keep showing up? Like, why do you keep trying so hard?
You have to. You have to. I started my business just wanting to help others. And now, more so than ever, I see the struggle. I see, funding being pulled from so many different programs. And providers now, all they have really to rely on for the most part is being able to bill, being successful when billing, and being able to collect on, all services provided by them. And so I keep showing up because what I do matters, because what my providers do matters, because someone has to do it. It's not the easiest field to be on, but I see how hard everyone in my field does, and I believe this is much bigger than me. They deserve to get paid, and those clients out there needing those services deserve to have quality of care. And if those providers are struggling, not able to make ends meet, and are busy focusing on running after payments and having to be on the phone and emailing back and forth and end up frustrated, they can't even be fully present for those patients. And so that's why I show up, because it matters, it's important, it's bigger than me, and it's needed, as well as I believe I make a difference.
That's so good. I love it. I love that you've allowed the the doctors to stay in their lane so they can work on the patient care side of it, and then the patient has a trusted doctor that doesn't focus on this hairy side. Because man, this is I have been on hold with insurance companies for hours, and I think to myself, "I would pay someone."
Yeah,
It's just, like, so silly, and then I
yeah,
also had a doctor that they didn't bill it right the first time, and I felt bad because they had to eat it. I was like, "I'll advocate for you. I want you to get paid for my insurance," It was like, "Man, you guys had one letter wrong," or something obnoxious, right? And so, yeah,
yeah,
I love that you're bridging the gap for all of this and trying to make everybody's lives easier all the way around by being a key person.
yeah.
Do me a favor, some people might think, "I wanna be involved when you have services that you could have available next for me," or maybe I'm even a medical practitioner that wants to know more about what you have. Where do you want everybody to come find you?
Well, you can check us out on our website, so reliablebilling.org. I'm also on LinkedIn, so find me, Peg Kinda, on LinkedIn. We also do have a reliable billing page on LinkedIn. All social media platforms, really, X, Facebook, Instagram. And so, yeah, look us up online, and please, anyone that is interested or may have questions can certainly reach out via our website, or give us a call or email, and we certainly would be happy to set up a brief call or meeting and yeah, discuss anything they may want to.
Perfect. I like how you make it so easy for people to find you, make it accessible.
Yeah.
And I know you have an amazing assistant that was like, "Hey, I'm getting with you, Tiff." I was like, "That's amazing." Mine too. I think at one point our assistants were both talking to each
No,
other. Like,
you have to have a great team. That's really what makes or breaks you. You get to a point where on you alone can only do so much, and so you need that solid team around you to just make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. And so I'm grateful for them all. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without them, but yeah, very important.
oh, nice, nice. Oh,
Yeah.
let's do this. I have two more questions for you.
Okay.
What's on the horizon for your company?
I see myself growing even more. I see myself, going after bigger contracts. So far, I've been, in my opinion, successful enough when it comes to, small to mid-sized providers, and they all need help. So I would continue to help, that market and be present, in those areas for sure. But I would also want to tap into the bigger hospitals, the Fairviews of the world, the Alinas and just the bigger hospitals, as well as I would say get more into government contracting is something I would be interested in. I'm working on a book. It will be out sometime next year. And I am just about done with my PhD. So hopefully in a few more months I will officially be a doctor.
I want to ask you the last question we wrap up the show with. What what do you want to leave everybody with for your like golden nuggets of wisdom?
Yeah. I would like for anyone out there that really wants to make a change or has a skill set that they would want to put to use to not be scared and to take that leap of faith. Anyone that may want to, be in business for themselves, anyone that just would want to do more, help out more or get more out of life, I would say just go for it and don't wait. And I hear a lot of just individuals out there just always telling me, well, I don't know everything there is to know about this one field, therefore I'm not yet ready. I'm still learning as I go. And I don't think I will ever be done learning. So to anyone out there, they don't wait and think that you will ever be able to know everything there is to know about one thing before you just start working towards what you want or get what you want out of life. Take that leap of faith, learn as you go, and as long as you work hard, it very well could be um just the best thing you would have done. So yeah,
How about that?
yeah,
You won't quit, won't stop. I love it. I love it so
yeah.
much.
That's the motto.
I'm so appreciative for you and for your time, and I'm so glad that LinkedIn was like, "You guys should know each other."
I know. I'm so glad we got to link up on there.
I know, I know.
Yeah,
I am gonna wrap up the show. I thank you
yeah,
again for your time. Guys,
of
that if
course.
you stayed this long to listen to Peg, I'm so grateful for you being an audience member. And then I will look forward to seeing you guys on one of the next episodes. Go ahead and follow me. You can find any of us on LinkedIn. If you can't find either one of us, let us know. We'll get you to each other. And then
Absolutely.
you guys go have a great rest of your day. And I'll talk to you soon, Peg.
Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate it.
Bye.